Brother.
So for the first time ever, last minute, I will be changing my prediction to Alex Pereira via a submission against Magomed Ankalaev. Let me know your thoughts down below. See you guys. Peace. Yeah, no, obviously I'm freaking joshing. I just didn't know what to title this video, and I thought this picture was funny. I know it's a bit of clickbait. Just bear with me. But today we're going to talk about UFC Fight Week because there's been a bit of beef, a bit of back and forth. Obviously, the press conference just took place, which we're going to talk about at the end. And I'm going to give my sort of final thoughts as well a bit later. But we're going to start with this. So we got a bit of beef between Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira. Now, I want to say this flat out. I don't agree with Tom's sentiment at all, which is, you guys know I love Tom. You guys know I'm a Tom Aspinall gooner, but he says Alex Pereira. No, he says he doesn't say Alex Pereira. It says Alex Pereira responds to Tom Aspinall saying he's been getting favorable matchups before fighting Big Mog. He says, I'm a guy who comes from kickboxing. I had no grappling experience. We're talking about the highest level of the sport. If you were to put the worst guy in the UFC against me, I'd be at a disadvantage. That makes no sense. So that is Alex saying that makes no sense. What Tom is alleging or is accusing Alex of, whatever the case may be. I don't agree with Tom's point at all. I don't think Alex has been getting favorable matchups because, like, his first fight was against a grappler, I believe. Now, he was a low-level guy, but, I mean, what do you want? Then his second fight was against Bruno Silva, I want to say. I believe it was Bruno Silva who, before that fight, correct me if I'm wrong, was undefeated. He might have been like on an undefeated like KO streak. You know, obviously many people point to that fight as the fight that just ruined Bruno Silva for the rest of his career. And I think he's retired now, sadly. And then after that, he fought Sean Strickland, who, yes, was a really highly ranked contender. Yes, we can agree on that. But he slept him in a round. And if Sean Strickland were to win that fight, he would have got a title shot. Because if you guys remember, Tom Aspinall, if you remember, middleweight was completely dead at that time. Israel Adesanya had just, I think that was the same night he fought Cannonier, actually. The same night Alex slept Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya had a complete snooze fest with Jared Cannonier. The UFC needed something. They needed a massive fight, whether it's, I don't know, whether it was even Strickland coming off of an Alex Pereira win, which would have been a big deal to be fair, or Alex coming off of a Strickland win, which was a big deal. So they needed a big fight. So that was a pseudo sort of number one contenders fight. I don't think you can say that that's like, I understand maybe you could argue, oh, he should have not gotten, Sean Strickland to begin with, but he slept him. He didn't have a boring decision with him like Umar did against Corey Sandhagen. He slept him. Was Izzy an easy fight? No. Right? And then after Izzy, it was what? Izzy again. Was Izzy in a rematch an easy fight? No, he slept him. Was Jan Blachowicz an easy fight? No. Was Jamal Hill an easy fight? No. Was Yuri an easy fight? No. Was Yuri again an easy fight? Like, you see my point? It's just, I would argue Alex's opponents were tougher than all of Aspinall's opponents. If you combine most of Aspinall's opponents, Yuri is tougher than all those guys. Come on, I'm just saying, Tom. Like, yeah, but he didn't put him against grapplers. Okay, name me 5 grapplers that are high level at light heavyweight. Name me them right now in the comments. You can't. High level, I didn't say just random grapplers or random wrestlers. I'm talking about high level wrestlers. They gave him Jan Blachowicz on his first fight up a weight class. And it wasn't on short notice, but it was a very quick turnaround from getting slept by Adesanya. And but Ankalaev, they could have done the Ankalaev fight sooner. I agree, but Ankalaev had already gotten his title shot against Blachowicz and had a draw, and it was a boring fight anyways. So obviously there's not going to be much of an incentive to give him another title shot. You have to think of their circumstances. It's not just easy fights until Ankalaev, and then Ankalaev was conveniently not an easy fight. Really? Yuri's an easy fight? Really? Come on. Adesanya's an easy fight against 2 Come on. 2 high-level kickboxers. Adesanya's a nightmare matchup for Pereira, and you saw that because he slept him. And in the first fight, he could have beat him. If it wasn't for that 5th-round TKO, he probably would have beat him via decision. So I don't agree with this. Whether your argument is, up until the Izzy fight, or even up until the Ankalaev fight. He's not had easy fights, in my opinion. Now, could he have fought Ankalaev a bit sooner? Sure, I agree with that. But it's like the whole argument of, oh, they never put him against grapplers. What grapplers are at light heavyweight? Middleweight now middleweight has some grapplers, but like Hernandez wasn't like ranked around the time Pereira was at middleweight. DDP I don't even think was ranked. DDP wasn't ranked. Hernandez wasn't ranked. What other grapplers? RDR wasn't even in the company. Like all the guys you see now, like Hamza, he was like off doing whatever. Like a lot of those guys were not even around. So there wasn't a lot of options at middleweight either. So if you look at it out of context, damn, look at his record. It's only what, Jamal Hill, Yuri twice. Yeah, of course. But what grappler did you want him to face at light heavyweight? Now let's move on to this. Was actually this actually legitimately was the funniest thing I've seen in a very long time. So this was Alex Pereira and Daniel Cormier just trolling each other. Let's react.
Fuck no, man.
Yeah.
You've done so much shit to me.
Aqui. No, bro. No. Hey, no problem.
What?
Imagine he's just gooned on the back of his head. He really just smacked. That's kind of crazy. Alex legitimately smacked the back of his head. That is kind of insane. If it was any other person, like, well, obviously he's a fighter, but if it was a non-fighter, imagine.
What?
Bro, he kind of slapped him hard, too. You really heard the smack of that. Bro, Alex is crazy, man.
Come here. Look. Hey.
And then, obviously, DC was trying to do the thing where Pereira smells his shirt and then he kisses him on the forehead, which is funny. And then, DC kind of gets him back. Whoa. Oh, my gosh, bro. Oh, my gosh. That was good. He got him back good with that.
Off to the side. Because I'm never going to shoot my head inside because knee. Yes.
Yo, bro. Bro, these two are wild, bro. I actually think this could be like a good like movie, like a buddy cop movie, like DC being like the comic relief and then Alex being the straight man.
Inside because knee.
That is insane. Bro, Alex is insane.
Yes.
Look at DC. This is awesome.
Fuck no, man.
That's one of the that's awesome. You guys got to check that out for yourselves. You just watched it. Why you got to watch it again? That was awesome. That was just absolutely hilarious. So I got to say this though. This has kind of sparked up the debate. Who would win between Alex and DC? I think Alex would beat DC prime for prime. I'm just saying, let me know if you think that's a hot take in the comments. But I think prime for prime, Alex would beat Daniel Cormier. And also, let's react to this. This is just absolutely insane. Let's just react.
Joe. What's going on, buddy? Speaking of embracing the memes, when is the nickname going to be officially changed from body bags to body cam off, Pyfer?
Bro, I love that. See, that's the one part that started out as like a negative thing, like people saying I was like racist and all this shit, and now I think it's hilarious. So yeah, it's possible in the future. I love that. Body came off. I'm here to kill a motherfucker.
That is kind. It's not. I don't think Joe Pyfer he's not a racist guy, but the connotations of that, like, I mean, only cops wear body cams, and turning the body cam off, you're here to kill. Let's just hope Joe Pyfer doesn't get matched up with a lot of black fighters. Let's just say that is actually insane, Joe Pyfer. Also, why did he shave his hair if he just got a hair transplant? I don't know. Maybe they botched it. And also, let's finally talk about this before we get into sort of our final thoughts and talking about the press conference. Ilia Topuria, he's back. Now, obviously, this is Alexandre Topuria. He's going to face Beksat Alimkhan. Who is the manager of Alexandre Topuria? Because this is great because obviously it's great. This is a great fight. But at the same time, like, what a killer. Like, you're coming back. And his last fight was what, like Kobe, is it Kobe Thickness, I believe, who's, short notice. He wasn't really much of a name. He is coming off of a win, I believe, in his last fight. But, he's not, like, super amazing. But Beksat Alimkhan is a guy who gave Umar a little bit of problems. And then he just slept his last opponent. I can't tell you his name. Brad Katona. He slept Brad Katona. And now he's going to face Alexandre Topuria, man. And it's like, respect to both of these guys for taking this fight. These are two of my favorite bantamweight, like, prospects or contenders or whatever you want to call them. So, not contenders, but prospects. Unranked contenders, I guess you can say. So, I'm really excited for this one. Early prediction, I mean, also, does this mean we're going to get maybe like a Malcolm Wellmaker versus a, like, Peyton Talbot? Because I'm not really sure what you do with those two. Or do you do like a Garbrandt versus a Talbot, maybe a Giannis versus a Wellmaker? You could do something like that. But Alimkhan Topuria, I'm going to say early on, probably, I'm going to say Topuria. I'm going to lean Topuria for now just because I know that Alimkhan has more UFC experience. He's obviously fought twice already and against Umar. And he's coming off of a nasty KO. But I don't know. I trust Topuria has a little bit more ways to mix it up. He can take it to the ground maybe. We'll see, though. As we get closer, I might have a closer look. But overall, that's about it. Now, let's talk about the press conference of UFC 320. It was shit. No, look, it was fine. I mean, like, Ankalaev and Pereira had some really solid trash talk where, you know, Pereira was just saying stuff about the PI, and Ankalaev was really, I want to say this, Ankalaev was really trying to stir up a bit of trash talk. Like, he really was going out of his way to stir up trash talk, to just simply talk trash. Definitely more than I've ever seen him do. Like, again, I've never seen Ankalaev talk that much smack about anybody, but I guess you can say the same about, you know, Pereira. Pereira seemed pretty heated, but I also feel like I'm not going to be a body language expert here, but I also feel like Alex Pereira was a bit more of the stoic one, which is not what I expected. I expected Ankalaev to be the stoic one, where Alex was the one that was trying to stir up stuff. But it felt like Ankalaev was the one that kept yapping, and Alex was the one that was a little bit more calm. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. I'm really not reading into anything. I'm just saying what I saw, so yeah. Also in the face-off, Alex said something like, I'm not going back to the tire shop, so that was interesting. But what about Merab and Corey? These two, surprisingly, were talking a bit of smack as well. Bless Corey Sandhagen's beautiful heart, because he was trying. He was actually trying to... He was trying. That's all I'm going to say is he was trying, but in the most awkward Corey Sandhagen way possible. He really was trying to talk smack. He was really trying to stir up some excitement or some hype, and he actually has been doing his part in the build-up, doing skits and stuff like that, but in this press conference, man, the autism was at an all-time high, and when you combat that with Merab's own autism, and he can barely speak English, I mean, this was just insane. Also, their face-off was surprisingly tense as well. Like, Merab said, I'm going to take you down or something, and Corey said, oh yeah, you think that's going to happen? I'm going to put my knee through your face. That's legit what he said, like something like that. So, yeah, that was surprisingly pretty tense. Moving on, though, to Yuri and Khalil. You know, Khalil had nothing. I mean, what do you expect? It's Khalil. He has nothing to offer, but just being in a cult and just... I went to Thailand for a few years, and Joe Rogan likes to glaze me. That's all he's got. But Yuri's awesome, obviously. But he didn't really have, like, a lot of interesting things to say. I mean, it's Yuri. He doesn't really talk a lot of smack or anything like that. So their face-off was pretty normal. So that was a press conference. I thought it was interesting they only had 3 fights on there rather than the other 2 fights that are on the main card. But it is what it is. I guess maybe they wanted to make it even shorter than the last one. I don't know. Dana doesn't care anymore. But yeah, my final thoughts on UFC 320. I can't shake the feeling Alex is going to sleep Ankalaev, but it is what it is. I picked Ankalaev. I'm not going to change my pick. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take it. Corey Sandhagen, there's something about Corey where I feel like he has a really great chance of just flatline killing Merab with like a fluke flying knee. I don't know. Of course, I'm always going to stick with Yuri, so I'm never going to change that pick. Yuri is definitely going to win. That's about it. Why am I shaking my head like that? That's about it. UFC 320 is really hype. I'm really hyped for it. That's all I got for you guys today. Like, comment, share, sub, become a member down below. And yes, Alex Pereira is going to win via sub. Obviously not, sadly, but it is what it is. I really do think he has a good chance of winning, but it's probably not going to happen. So, peace.